Good night.
Police say one group is scamming homeowners all over the Central Valley, and they could be armed and dangerous.
5,000 nurses say they're drawing a line in the sand, but will a strike this week help or hurt their case?
Plus, another blast of winter-like weather made kind of a mess overnight, so are we out of the woods now? Good evening. I'm Edie Lambert.
And I'm Sarah Gardner. KCRA 3 reports at 6 starts now in high definition.
You're watching KCRA 3 HD, where the news comes first. Now, KCRA 3 reports at 6 in high definition.
We begin tonight with a KCRA consumer alert. Police say a group of criminals is scamming homeowners all over the Central Valley.
They've been tied to a landscaping scam in Stockton, Manteca, Mountain House, Lathrop, and Tracy. Now investigators say at least one of them is armed and dangerous. KCRA 3's Rich Ibarra is live in the Stockton Bureau with the latest for us. Rich?
Well, Michael Lou Fano is a pretender. Fano pretends to be a licensed contractor, pretends to do landscape and concrete work, and pretends to deliver on his promises. But he's really a con man who's just one step ahead of the law.
Including myself, the corner house, then there's a couple of houses behind me, and a house in the front as you drove in.
Bernie Flores and 5 of his neighbors, all victims.
$25,000, $30,000 in what we've lost.
46-year-old Michael Lou Fano goes by a few different names, but his scam doesn't change. Put in one good project in the neighborhood and then cheats the other residents.
He'll get half the money up front and then go out there, put some 2x4s in the backyard, make his presence known, never come back.
Fano usually works with a crew of 8 or 10 others, often a case of now you see them, now you don't.
He put the concrete for the retaining wall, and after that he took off. It started with like 8 people working, then went down to 6, then 4, then 2, and they took off.
Last year, Fano fled the area after leaving more than $200,000 in poor or unfinished work, and now is believed to have stolen more than $250,000 this year. Consumers should always ask for a plastic license, which looks like a credit card, and a photo ID. Also check the contractor's license history. Don't pay cash and ask for a written contract.
When they ask for anything more than 10% or $1,000 as the initial down payment, walk away from it.
Sometimes the bid by an unlicensed contractor can be too good for a good reason.
I learned a big lesson there about losing money and then trusting people.
Now you can go to our website at KCRA.com, click on the news link for the Contractor State License Board, or you can call toll-free at 800-321-2752 to check out any licensed contractor. Meanwhile, authorities continue to look for Michael Fano, who was wanted on a $100,000 arrest warrant in San Joaquin County. He's also believed to be driving a customized red pickup truck. Reporting live in Stockton, I'm Rich Ibarra. Back to you in Sacramento.
And that is a painful lesson to learn, Rich. Thank you.
Meantime, Vacaville police have another scam suspect in custody tonight after they say he dressed and even lived as a woman to embezzle money from an elderly victim. Detectives say that Penina Tawake went all out to pretend to be a woman in order to get a job as an in-home caretaker for that elderly client. He'd been working under the guise of a woman in that home since May of last year before a relative conducted an audit of the victim's bank account and discovered some missing money. Investigators say that Tawake allegedly used some of that stolen money to buy a car and a trip to Hawaii. The suspect is a legal resident of the Fiji Islands. He's in the United States on a visa.
Sacramento police are hoping witnesses can help solve an armed robbery today at a check cashing store. It happened at Check Into Cash in the 5200 block of Stockton Boulevard. The victim told police that 2 men stormed the store this morning brandishing weapons. Then they tied the clerk to a chair.
Prior to leaving the business, they were able to use some type of tape and tape the clerk up. The good thing about this is nobody was hurt in the robbery, and the clerk is doing fine.
Detectives say the whole thing was caught on tape. They're looking for 2 suspects, one man in his 30s, about 5'10", wearing sunglasses and a puffy green jacket. The other, a thin man in his 20s, wearing a knit-rimmed hat.
Rockland police say 2 people wearing motorcycle helmets held up a man who was dropping off money at a credit union. That happened late last night, just before midnight on Stanford Ranch Road. The courier was making a drop-through door deposit when 2 people with guns walked up, demanded the bag, his wallet, and his car keys. The courier tells police both robbers were wearing all black clothing and motorcycle helmets. Officers from Placer County and Sacramento joined in on the search, but the bikers got away. Well, if you were up very early this morning, this is probably what you saw. I know I heard it. Most of our viewing area got a good soaking overnight, including this rainfall that we shot in Grass Valley in Nevada County.
The rain was coming down hard when a big rig jackknife crashed south of Elk Grove on I-5. That accident shut down the southbound lanes for more than an hour during the early morning commute. Police are still investigating the exact cause, but they have confirmed that the trucker lost control of his rig. Things were a little bit different in the higher elevations this morning. That rain turning to more early season snow along the Sierra.
KCRA 3's Pamela Wu is live in the high country forest with more. Pam, what's it like up there?
Well, it's very snowy right now, Sarah and Edie. I can tell you, as you probably know, that Sierra ski resorts typically don't see their opening day until around Thanksgiving or so. But down here and all around us, evidence of some mid-October snowfall. It's really quite thin. I'm touching the pavement right now. But this morning, we found a group of snowboarders that found a way to take full advantage.
I think it's good.
No matter the date on the calendar, when snow falls at Alpine Meadows Ski Resort, the diehards will come.
It's a little sticky. Speed will be our friend.
This group heard Mother Nature calling today. A few inches on the ground was enough.
I'm stoked because last year was pretty dry.
I can guarantee anytime it snows, you're going to get some zealots out there.
Being a zealot isn't easy. The lifts aren't operating yet. It's a long hike up and a bumpy ride down.
You're gonna hit rocks today.
My girlfriend's kind of mad because she doesn't like when I'm snowboarding because she can't snowboard very well with me.
She a little jealous of your relationship with the mountain?
I think so, yeah.
Hope for a snowfall windfall echoed not just by skiers, boarders, and resorts, but people across the Sierra.
Playing because sometimes there's no snow.
Well, I just hope we have a ton of rain and a ton of snow this year.
A look at I-80 where traffic is free and clear right now. Now, just in case there is more significant snowfall later on this month, during the month of October, Caltrans is going to start full operations at its Kingvale post next week. For them, it is far earlier in the season than usual. Reporting live at Soda Springs, I'm Pamela Wu. Sarah and Edie, back to you.
Yeah, it's early, but a welcome sight. Pam, thank you. And that snow may be sticking in the higher elevations, but by this afternoon, this is how it looked in North Modesto when the sun finally peeked through the clouds. Very pretty. And in Sacramento, this man says the weather this afternoon was just right for a spin with his remote-controlled airplane over 28th Street. You can see just blue skies there.
Oh, I know. I heard the pouring rain last night. KCRA 3 Weather Plus Chief Meteorologist Mark Finan warned us about last night's storms, but it seems like we've really dried out this afternoon, at least in the valley.
Mark, that is a pretty sunset out there.
It is, and you know, from that shot, you saw that we still have a fair amount of cloud cover out there, and we do, but KCRA 3 live triple Doppler is quiet. Let me show you this full screen. During the overnight hours, we had that solid area of rain through the area, but now everything is quiet. So maybe you're just getting home from work and you still see a few clouds, wondering if it's dry. Well, it is. And yeah, temperatures are running a little on the cool side, but still it will stay dry through the rest of the evening. Right now in Sacramento, we have 66 degrees, 68 in Stockton, 69 in Modesto, and 44 degrees currently at South Lake Tahoe. So despite the clouds, it is going to be a relatively comfortable evening. So maybe you're just getting home from work and you want to clean up the yard a little bit after some of that rain we had last night. Also, it's not too out of season to remind you that perhaps you want to start cleaning out some of the gutters too. I saw some of them backed up in my area today, so you may want to start to clean some of those leaves out of the gutters. But yeah, we're dry for now. We are talking about our next chance of a little bit of rain. I'll tell you more about that a little later in the newscast. Back to you.
Checking with you later. Thank you.
Thousands of nurses walked off their jobs today in Northern California.
The protesters work for 15 hospitals in the Sutter healthcare system. Most of them are from the Bay Area, but 2 independent hospitals not affiliated with Sutter in our region are also affected. KCRA 3's Tom Duhane is live in Marysville, where those nurses are on the picket lines right now. Tom?
Yeah, so far the first day of the strike has been relatively uneventful. You can see the strikers behind me across the street, all members of the California Nurses Association. And they're right now walking along G Street in Marysville, which is actually 2 blocks from the entrance to Rideout Hospital.
A contract! When we want it. Now!
Striking nurses walked out at 7 a.m., beginning a two-day work stoppage at Rideout Memorial Hospital in Marysville and Fremont Medical Center in Yuba City. Workers say it's about stalled contract talks.
We're trying to improve the safety standards of our hospital, trying to retain nurses, get them to stay.
We tend to have a lot of, inexperienced people coming in, using this as kind of their stepping stone and then leaving us.
The Fremont Rideout Health Group, a nonprofit which operates both hospitals, says a walkout is not justified.
We were set for bargaining actually October 4th. Before that date even came, the union had provided us a strike notice.
CNA says the majority of its 500 local members are on strike. Rideout was prepared, bringing in replacements on 5-day contracts.
The hospital is functioning very well. Patient care is going according to plan. In fact, there's no disruption in operations at all.
Officials would not allow KCRA inside to see if it was business as usual. So we asked some patients if medical service is normal.
Thought that it was just as good as I've ever seen it.
You didn't notice any difference inside?
No, everything was pretty fast. So.
Oh, we got in and out real fast. The nurses weren't there to talk to each other and ignore the patients.
Do you say it was better than usual?
Yes, a lot better.
The nurses plan to return to work on Friday, but the hospital says they cannot come back for 5 days. So the strikers will lose 2 days of strike pay. To pay from the strike, they'll lose 3 more days. The hospital says they can't come back because they've already hired substitutes that'll be here through Sunday. No word yet on whether this will get the two sides back to the bargaining table. Reporting live in Marysville, I'm Tom Duhane. Back to you.
All right, Tom, thank you.
Still ahead tonight, Sacramento's police force is growing, but in unconventional ways. We'll show you how.
Plus, STDs are at an epidemic status in Sacramento County. We'll tell you why the rate might be 10 times higher than scientists previously believed.
I'm Lois Hart, live in the KCRA 3 newsroom. Coming up tonight at 6:30, the multi-million-dollar fight over Indian gaming in California. You could soon be asked to decide on the expansion of Indian casinos. Hundreds of millions of dollars are at stake. But do voters even have the right to vote on a deal reached between Governor Schwarzenegger and the legislature? Then greater flood protection, but at what cost? How the governor hopes to prevent Katrina-like flooding in California.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Sleep Train Mattress Centers, your ticket to a better night's sleep.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Hi, I'm KCRA 3's Edie Lambert, inviting you to join Susan G. Komen for the Cure's Passionately Pink for the Cure. Just go to KCRA.com and click on the Passionately Pink for the Cure logo. You can join the KCRA 3 team and show your support by donating $5 or more. Change your clothes to change the world. It's an easy way to make a difference. Pick your pink, play your part, end breast cancer. Go to KCRA.com.
The all-new Chrysler Town & Country with the first ever best in the business lifetime powertrain warranty. Chrysler, engineered beautifully.
Did you really have to bring 50 wagons of stuff?
What? I like shoes.
We're not going to be gone forever. Oh, I should have just gone to public storage.
Public storage?
Yeah, public storage. You can reserve a storage space and pay just $1 for the first month.
Great. Now you tell me.
Need to store your stuff? Call the experts at Public Storage. We have a variety of storage spaces. Reserve now and pay just $1 for the first month at any of our over 2,000 convenient locations. That's right, the first month is just $1. Public Storage. Call 1-800-44-STORE.
It's tattered. It's dirty. It's his best friend. Introducing new Tide Pure Essentials with baking soda. It gives you an outstanding clean, a touch of baking soda, and a white lilac scent. Best friends forever. New Tide Pure Essentials with baking soda.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. America's Tire Company.
Tender and delicious rotisserie chicken, turkey breast,
and tri-tip. Slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Only at Rayleigh's in Bel Air.
When you're on the go, take KCRA 3 News with you. Log on to KCRA.com on your mobile.
KCRA Free Mobile.
Another reason we are where the news comes first.
First-rate emergency services. Mercy. Experience excellence.
As the city of Sacramento grows, so does its police department, but not always in traditional ways. KCRA 3's Chris Riva explains the bike patrol unit is getting bigger, and they'll have the best bike of any police force in the nation.
This is not a typical mid-morning ride for this bike club.
Up and over the curb, good job.
It's on-the-job training for the Sacramento Police Bike Patrol.
This is a basic bicycle course that we send officers through before they're able to go out and patrol on a bicycle.
These officers are hoping to get in, ride well enough to join the unit that's expanding in January. A growing downtown means a bigger need for this type of policing.
You know, we have so much growth going on in downtown Sacramento with new high-rises, with the rail yard project. It's just the most efficient way to get around down here.
Bike officers spend 40 hours a week on the bike.
We're out here regardless of the weather.
With more officers needed, that means they also need better equipment. And the squad's grand idea took off while patrolling a major event downtown.
You know, we met Jim Felt actually last year at the Tour of California.
And we didn't realize that he was a local guy. He lives up in Auburn. And we just went up and started talking to him.
He thought it was a great idea to have a partnership with the police department.
And it's a perfect bike for police patrol.
Felt bikes are ridden by some of the best competitive cyclists in the world. And now SAC PD is using them to patrol downtown.
We're always on a tight budget, and he could really do a great job with providing us with a product, high-quality product, for a lower price than we could, say, at a local bike shop.
Giving the SAC PD the tools they need to pedal patrol downtown. In Sacramento, Chris Riva, KCRA 3 reports.
Now, to buy the type of bike that those patrol officers ride, it would cost you about $1,500 at a local bike shop. And keep in mind, the Felt Bike Company is customizing their rides for police work. That force will grow to more than 30 full-time officers and one more sergeant by January.
We have breaking news at this hour. We're being told the State Controller's Office of Unclaimed Property is currently on lockdown. An employee was apparently going through safe deposit boxes, and inside one of them was a broken vial.
So they called the CHP and the hazardous materials team. 7 employees are currently being looked at for any possible problems. The location there, the exact location, 3301 C Street, that office building. We obviously have a crew on the way to the scene. We'll bring you any more information as we get it.
In the meantime, we'll check in with KCRA 3 Weather Plus Chief Meteorologist Mark Finan, who has a wet forecast for us.
Well, yeah, we're talking about another chance of rain, but I don't think we're looking at a repeat of what we saw last night. And right now, everything is dry. Looks nice. Pretty good sunset working out there with a few clouds. Let's show you that full screen, and what you'll see is that we do have partly cloudy skies and 66 degrees currently in Sacramento. Wind is out of the northwest at 7 miles an hour. In Fairfield, we also have just a couple of clouds, and currently we have 66 degrees. The wind is coming out of the west at just 6. In Stockton, we have partly cloudy skies and 68 degrees, a breeze coming out of the northwest at 10. In Modesto, we have also just partly cloudy skies, 69 degrees, wind out of the northwest. And at South Lake Tahoe, another great shot from our Lake Tahoe sky cam. Look at that, just a couple of clouds. The sun just dipped below the crest of the Sierra. 44 degrees right now at the lake after getting some snow first thing this morning. And the wind is calm. A few clouds from our sky cams, but nothing in the way of rain. KCRA 3 live triple Doppler is quiet, and it'll stay that way. 71 was the high today after an overnight low of 56. That's 71, cool for this time of year. The 6/10 of an inch of rain we had first thing this morning, obviously the most substantial rain we've seen so far this season in Sacramento, and it brings us up to just about average for this time of year, actually a little bit above average, 104% of average. So finally we kicked things off for the rain season in the valley after having a couple of weather systems go through the Sierra. Here's how it looks from above. Here's the weather system we had first thing this morning, and now it's making its way on up to Idaho. And behind that, what you just saw from our sky cams are the clouds that tucked in behind it. Nothing in the way of rain here. Let me widen the view for you a little bit, and this is what we're looking at next. Now keep in mind that when you look at one of these weather systems, what you often see is a lot of high clouds out ahead of it while the main rain area is back in here. So what we'll see tomorrow is a lot of high clouds but no rain. Any chance of rain is out here. It's looking like this weather system is going to weaken. So even though perhaps you heard we're going to see some rain Friday, well, we're talking about maybe getting some showers. You know, last night we had the ½ inch of rain. We're talking about maybe getting some spotty showers in here Friday morning. So it's not going to be a repeat of what we saw last night. And I wouldn't be surprised if many areas stay dry completely during the day Friday. Well, tomorrow will be a dry day, partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the upper 50s around Tahoe and Truckee. The roads will be dry. You won't have any travel issues getting through the Sierra. And on the west slope will stay in the low 60s. Now that weather system for Friday, I don't even think we're going to see anything in the Sierra. So we'll leave it dry Friday, and then for the weekend it's going to be great. If you're going to Tahoe this weekend, perfect. Sunshine, a few clouds, cool, temperatures around 60. Next week I think we'll see some changes, but right now the next few days look as though they'll be pretty good for Sierra travel. In the foothills tomorrow we're going to start out in the 40s, and then highs tomorrow upper 60s to low 70s. Not bad. Just a little on the cool side for this time of year. In the valley, the average is still around 82, so we're still running on the cool side for this time of year, despite the fact that we'll have partly cloudy skies tomorrow. We'll go to about 70 in Napa, upper 60s in San Francisco, Concord around 71, and 70 degrees in Antioch. For the valley, a few clouds tonight, but otherwise mainly clear, with overnight lows in the upper 40s to about 50. Highs tomorrow, low to mid 70s, slightly warmer than it was today. And for the Sacramento area, despite the fact we'll have some clouds tomorrow, it will be a dry day, with a high of 72 in Sacramento, 71 in Vacaville. Here's the KCRA 3 Weather Plus 5-day forecast. And even though we've got that little rain icon on there for Friday, I just don't think we're going to see very much. Maybe a few showers in the morning, clearing by Friday night, still leaving us with a great weekend. Increasing clouds Monday, with perhaps a better chance of rain on Tuesday, and then again next Thursday. Next week could be more active, but in the meantime, the next few days not bad. And yeah, that thing on Friday just looks really, really weak and getting weaker by the minute.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Mark.
Okay.
Well, the leaves are changing. Things are getting a little cooler, as Mark was telling us, and that means it's time for the annual KCRA 3 Kids Can Food Drive.
We are collecting food for needy families here in Northern California, and we need your help. It all begins this Friday morning at 5 and runs until 7 o'clock that night. Our main drop-off location will be at the main gate at Cal Expo, and KCRA folks will be on hand to take your donations. In fact, I'll be out there at Cal Expo from about 4 o'clock on. But if you can't make it to Cal Expo, we'll also be taking donations at the Roseville Galleria, the Solano Mall in Fairfield, Weberstown Mall in Stockton, and Vintage Fair Mall in Modesto. Last year, we collected more than 300 tons of food, and we hope to do better this year.
Well, still ahead, a new report says STDs are at epidemic levels in our area. Plus, one California town is taking the no smoking fight to some people's living rooms.
Turner Volvo, Sacramento Valley's only exclusive Volvo dealer since 1956.
KCRA News at 10 p.m. on My 58, the Sacramento area's only 30-minute newscast at 10 o'clock. More news in less time.
We begin tonight with a developing story
from the area's most trusted news team.
We continue our live team coverage tonight.
Breaking news.
New information tonight.
At KCRA 3 Weather Plus Chief Meteorologist Mark Finan.
We do have a big change from this time last night.
KCRA News at 10 p.m. on My 58, the Sacramento area's only 30-minute newscast at 10 o'clock.
I want a humongous pizza.
Here you go.
Now get a freshly made large 5-meat stuffed pizza made with real cheese and 5 kinds of meat for just $9.99. Because at Papa Murphy's, we can do that.
Hi, you need some help?
Yeah, this hardwood floor is perfect.
But I want to install it myself, and I don't want to mess with glue or nails.
No glue. Our Labradoodle has very sensitive skin. We don't want glue in the house. It wouldn't be good.
No problem.
Now is a great time to check out the wide variety of floors at Lowe's, including Bruce Lock and Fold hardwood floors. Because right now you can get 20% off all special order flooring. Lowe's, let's build something together.
Together?
We could do that.
Okay.
Use your Lowe's consumer card and pay nothing for 12 months on flooring purchases of $299 or more.
I definitely took a risk leaving the Real Yellow Pages. I allocated some of my budget to the other directories because I wanted to see if, in fact, they would work for us as well as the Real Yellow Pages. I wasn't happy at all with the results I had with the other directories. I won't be lured by any of those other directories ever again.
The AT&T Yellow Pages is now the AT&T Real Yellow Pages. To advertise in the book or on yellowpages.com, call 1-800-GET-REAL. The new AT&T, your world delivered.
Okay, class, let's go! 1, 2, up,
arriba, there you go. Abajo, turn, keep turning. Here we go again, left, right, un, dos, vamos! Up, down, up, abajo, arriba, muy bien. And take a deep breath. Stretch all those músculos. Y ya.
Wow, where are we?
The Elk Grove Auto Mall.
It's so big. It could be its own city.
Right. We could call it Selection City.
Hey, I like that.
Bigger is better at the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Highway 99 at the Elk Grove Boulevard exit and at elkgroveautomall.com.
Doctors who listen as well as they treat you. Mercy. Experience excellence.
We are continuing to follow that breaking news. 7 employees are now being examined at the State Controller's Office of Unclaimed Property.
We've been told that CHP and hazmat crews are at that facility right now, and the facility is on lockdown after an employee was going through safe deposit boxes and found some sort of broken vial.
We will continue to bring you information just as soon as we get it.
In other news, new numbers are out tonight that seem to confirm that California and Sacramento are in the middle of an epidemic of sexually transmitted diseases.
In some counties, including Sacramento, among 15 to 24-year-olds, the estimated rate of new infections is more than 30%. The study looked at 8 diseases, including chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis. It comes from a group out of Oakland called the Public Health Institute. The head of Sacramento's Public Health says, while the numbers might be a little inflated, she does agree there's a problem.
Clearly, we're not doing a very good job of either controlling these sexually transmitted diseases or creating awareness.
Now, one challenge health officials face is that unlike during the 80s and early 90s, AIDS is no longer seen as a deadly disease. And some young people don't seem to take seriously the long-term problems such as cancer or infertility associated with many other STDs.
Governor Schwarzenegger signed a bill today making it illegal to smoke in a vehicle carrying children. That new bill authorizes fines of up to $100 per violation. Meanwhile, the city of Belmont introduced its new smoking ban this week, making it illegal in any parks or public places. Then, 14 months from now, smokers will not even be allowed to light up in their own apartments or condos. People will be allowed to smoke on Belmont streets and sidewalks. Smokers will not face penalties unless their neighbors complain. Edie?
Well, you might want to vote early for this week's highschoolplaybook.com Game of the Week. We've already had more than 26,000 votes so far, and there's just over 24 hours to get your votes in. The polls close tomorrow night at 9. All you have to do is go to KCRA.com and cast your vote for your favorite team. The survey link is on the right side of the page, and I'll give you a hint. I was online with that about a half an hour ago, and one of those matchups is way ahead.
Edie's been voting a lot.
Click, click.
Coming up right after the break, it's one of the largest Indian gaming expansion plans in California history.
Standing by live in the KCRA 3 newsroom are the people who are leading the effort for and against a deal to expand Indian gaming in California. Dave and Lois will get to the bottom of the controversy next.
KCRA 3 is kicking off this month-long event this Friday at the Cal Expo main gate from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Join us and bring a non-perishable food donation. The KCRA 3 Kids Can Food Drive, feeding hungry families for 20 years.